Hello everyone, happy Monday and welcome to this channel. Today we're going to be talking about the newest fragrance releases that have been announced over this past week in a brand new episode of Smash or Pass. This is a series where every week we window shop, we talk about the newest fragrance releases, and we discuss what are the notes, what we like, what we don't like, what are the trends. This is a great way for us to kind of reconnect after the weekend, and I really do look forward to these videos every week because I feel like they're a great way to just talk about what's new, but also have a conversation with you guys. So with that being said, if this is your first time on this channel, hello, my name is Anya. I love fragrances. I talk about them here every single weekday. That is Monday through Friday, yes, 5 times a week. I also publish additional content on TikTok and Instagram under the username ANECHKAFRAGRANCES. If you're interested in like fashion or lifestyle, I would definitely recommend checking out my Instagram. I've started to post on Instagram a lot more, and my content there is definitely a little bit more fashion forward since that's another one of my passions. So if you're interested in that, definitely do check Instagram. But also, if you love fragrance history, if you love beauty history, definitely recommend you check out my podcast. It's called The Fragrance Report. It's available on Spotify and here on YouTube every Wednesday. And in addition to that, if you are looking at all the releases and you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with everything that's going on, if you are feeling that you want a better way to track not only what you're spending, but also what's in your collection, I'd recommend you download my Fragrance Collection Log and Expense Tracker. It's a handy spreadsheet available in my Stan store. So with that being said, we have a lot to get through. I know I say that practically every single week, but this time we have a long list of releases to go through. So without further ado, let's get started. First up, we have a new release from the House of Oud, also known as Thu, as we like to call them. I don't know if anyone else calls them that in their head, but basically this is a brand that's known for their rather inventive bottle design. This is an example of a brand that really knows how to market with their bottles because you see this shape, you instantly know what brand it is, even before you see the brand. So this is the House of Oud. They're launching Une Nuit. So essentially, this is supposed to be a fragrance that's citrus aromatic with notes of mandarin, apricot, and marmalade at the top, a mid of peach, salted butter, ylang-ylang, and osmanthus, and then a base of amber, benzoin, vanilla, and musk. I am quite tempted by this. I have never seen, I mean, I might be completely wrong, I might have forgotten about this, but I cannot recall the last time I saw marmalade in a fragrance. And let me tell you, I was once someone who did not like marmalade, but I have since changed my tune, and marmalade to me is not only something I enjoy eating, but I also love the idea of smelling it in a fragrance because like, it does capture kind of like this sweetness, but also like, the bitter rindness and the rindy nature of a citrus. So I find it rather compelling, and I especially love seeing it in a fragrance like this. So this is the type of fragrance that I would be really open to trying out. It sounds like something that would be well suited for this time of year as well, because yes, it's citrusy, but it does have like those kind of nuances to it that prevent it from being like too I would say stereotypical, at least in the opening, or at least at first impression. This just seems really interesting, compelling, unique. The butter note could go either way, in my opinion. It either could be something that I really like or something that I dislike. So this is something that I would like to put on my to-try list. This is something that I'll keep an eye out for, and I will test it out, and I'll let you know what I think. But all in all, this looks rather promising at first glance. We then have another release that I am so incredibly excited about. Like, I knew that Pernoire was coming out with something new, but I had no idea what it was until they announced it. This is something that I am very excited for because I don't believe they have had an oud fragrance before. And this is called Oudian, or Oudian. Yeah, Oudian, I think. And it has notes of tropical fruits, Sichuan pepper, saffron, and durian at the top, a bit of frankincense and labdanum, and then a base of leather, vetiver, and oud. One of the hero notes here is durian. This is supposed to be a note that's quite polarizing. Some people call it kind of like a bitter citrus, and other descriptions that I found online, particularly Wikipedia, describe it as civet, skunk spray, and used surgical swabs, among other things. So this is definitely not a note that has been used before because I don't really, or utilized widely before, because I don't see a lot of conversation about it. and it seems to be a very polarizing note. So the fact that they're putting it together with oud is noteworthy. I will definitely be trying this. This will be something that I will get my hands on. It will be on this channel. You guys will hear about it. I'm curious about it. You guys know how much I love Pernoire, and I will say I have gotten to the point where I trust Pernoire with their releases. They're a house that I genuinely love and I gravitate towards. I would be the same way even if I didn't have an affiliate partnership with them. But yeah, I'm excited to try this out because even though this sounds like it could be a controversial release, it sounds like something that would be up my alley. So I will be getting my nose on this. I will be telling you what it's like. I am very curious about it. I haven't seen too much conversation about it. Like, they haven't necessarily talked about it very much, and I can tell you that from like an affiliate standpoint, they haven't said too much about it either. So yes, this is definitely something that I look forward to learning more about. It's oud, it's durian. I'm looking forward to trying this out. This sounds extremely interesting, and it sounds like it could go either way. So I'm fascinated to test this out. The next item that I have here is from the brand Tocca, and this is a new fragrance from them called Laila. So this is going to be a citrus and amber fragrance with notes of green mandarin, bergamot, and desert rain accord, amid of nectar, lily of the valley, cardamom, and jasmine, and then a base of vanilla, amber, and white woods. I can definitely tell you this sounds like it's going to be a really easy, non-offensive, pretty kind of fragrance, similar to the other Tocca fragrances, but I can also say that I don't need to have this in my collection. I already have Mandarin Basilic by Guerlain. I already have Aqua Allegoria Forte. Wait, no, that's the same thing. I already have Gucci Memoir, which might have like a similar citrusy undertone to this, even though I can say, I can probably tell that they're going to be very different fragrances. What else do I have? I have Déjà Le Printemps by Olivier Legrand, which also has a bit of a citrusy nuance to it. I mentioned those fragrances not because I'm saying that those were going to be dupes to this, because I haven't tried this, but those are examples of citrusy fragrances I have in my collection, to the point that I don't need another citrusy fragrance in my collection at the moment. If I end up with another one, so be it, but this is going to be a pass for me purely because I don't need it. So moving on, we have a new collection from Simone Andreoli. This is interesting because it looks like a collection of 3 fragrances. So let's break these down. All these fragrances come in this black bottle design, and the concentration of these perfumes appear to be a nectar concentration, and this appears to be from the collection Timeless Nomad. So it looks like a new collection from Simone Andreoli. So we have Criminal Lipstick, Kite in Crystal Reef, and Apricot Innocence. So let's break these down. Criminal Lipstick will have notes of grapes, musk, iris oud, lily of the valley, black amber, cedarwood, fig, vanilla, jasmine, and pear. We also have Kite in Crystal Reef. This will have notes of green apple, bergamot, and neroli at the top, amid of aquatic notes and white lotus, and then a base of tonka bean, cedarwood, ambroxan, and vanilla. Apricot Innocence will include fruity and floral notes of jasmine, exotic fruits, white musk, osmanthus, apricot, orange, nectar, amber, and rose. I can say right off the bat, I'll be open to trying all of these, but lipstick or criminal lipstick, that one is going to be the one that I would have to choose if I had to like choose a favorite just based on the notes. Criminal lipstick would definitely be up my alley. You guys know, I mean, even if you don't, let me tell you, I am a sucker for a good lipstick scent. I love lipstick scents. I feel like I can't get enough of them at this point. I have several in my collection. I don't care. I want to have more. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. There's some scent profiles, there's some notes, okay, that I'm sure you have them too, that I can't get enough of, and lipstick is one of those scent profiles for me at the moment. So out of all of these, the lipstick one is the most beguiling. All of these do sound rather interesting, and I'll be willing to try them all out, but Criminal Lipstick is definitely my favorite. We also have a new collection from Free Yourself. Now, they are launching 3 new fragrances in a new bottle design, and these fragrances will include Vibe, Awe, and Savor. Now, Free Yourself is inspired by, like, of course, freedom, independence. This is a line that is quite, like, I would say, indie niche, and they're growing. I saw them at Sun Explore last year, and their team was absolutely lovely. So let's get into the notes. So, Vibe 5 will have notes of bergamot, almond, anise, thyme, and clove at the top, a mid of sandalwood, raspberry, basil, suede, and cade oil, and then a base of patchouli, vanilla, cedar, amber, and balsam fir. We then have Awe, and this will be a bit of a citrusy fragrance with notes of grapefruit, petitgrain, white tea, bergamot, and neroli, a mid of angelica, jasmine, leather, orris, and herbal notes, and then a base of white musk, patchouli, ambroxan, vanilla, and cedar. We then have Savor, and Savor will be a sweet, woody fragrance with notes of chocolate, pistachio, almond, and plum at the top, a mid of sandalwood, tonka bean, tobacco, and rose, and then a base of marshmallow, interesting, lavender, vanilla, and cedar. I do find it intriguing that 2 out of the 3 of these fragrances include animalic notes like leather and suede, so I think that is definitely worth noting. That I don't think I've usually encountered many brands that will come out with a collection and have more than one fragrance have a leather note, so that's interesting to see for sure. These are definitely going to be fragrances I think I will have a chance to try out. I'm going to Sun Explorer later this year in December. I will be trying them out there, if not earlier, so I'll be getting my nose on these. I'll report back at that time, even though it seems so far away. I feel like it will come up really fast. So yeah, these sound interesting, these sound intriguing. Next up, we have a new fragrance launched by Rosie Jane. This is their 12th fragrance. Rosie Jane is founded by the Australian Rosie Jane Johnson, and she now lives in Los Angeles, and she's taken a lot of inspiration from her Australian heritage and injected it into her brand. Now, this particular fragrance is rather personal because it's inspired by and named after her niece. She spent 2 years working on this fragrance because she wanted it to feel light but still cozy, the kind of scent that wraps around you without ever weighing you down, and this particular scent will have notes of sparkling bergamot leaf, zesty mandarin, fresh cardamom pods at the top, and then a mid of fresh petitgrain, verbena leaf, white gardenia, Indian jasmine, and green hemp, and then a base of milk, musk, white amber, and green cedar. It makes sense that this is a California-inspired perfume and they have green hemp in it. I feel like that is going to be like the note that kind of makes this scent a little bit controversial, because I feel like people kind of go either direction when it comes to a note like that. Me personally, I tend to really be sensitive to notes of like weed, hemp, any of that. I just don't partake in that sort of thing, so I don't really want to smell as if I do. But yeah, this seems interesting. Definitely going to give this a try when it's available. I'm pretty sure it's going to be available in Sephora. We also have some new fragrances by Bottega. I really do think that designer brands have been carrying the new releases market when it comes to coming up with inventive and interesting bottle designs, and Bottega Veneta is no exception at all. They're coming out with some new fragrances, 3 new fragrances as part of their Mezza Notte collection. This is supposed to be a trio of perfumes that embody depth, refinement, and sensual intensity, building on the house's inaugural fragrance line, which was called the Venice Collection. So this is the kind of thing that you look at these perfumes and you instantly know it's Bottega, which I love. Again, as we mentioned with the House of Oud, I love it when a brand comes out with a fragrance bottle design that can easily be tied to that brand, and the marketing side of me absolutely loves that brand recognition, and this particular line is no exception. It's weird, it's funky, but you can definitely tell it's Bottega. This is supposed to be an art piece, not just a fragrance. Hinoki is going to be a woody aromatic fragrance. It's a simple scent pyramid with notes of balsam fir at the top, a mid of hinoki, and then a base of patchouli. Then we have Almost Dawn, an earthy vanilla fragrance, which we don't see very often, with top notes of chestnut, a mid of truffle, and a base of vanilla. Then Good Morning Midnight has notes of wild strawberry at the top, a mid of rose, and the base of oud. I must say, this is a line I really want to try out. I am so intrigued by it, particularly, I must say, Almost Dawn, because I don't think I've ever really seen truffle paired with vanilla and chestnut before. Yes, it's simple. Yes, it's simple. Like, yes, it's very minimal, but it's something I haven't seen before, and I'm really curious to see how this would smell. So this new fragrance line is definitely something I would like to keep my eye out for, particularly Almost Dawn, but of course the other ones I'm really interested in smelling as well. Next is a brand that is rather close to my heart. This is Organ Tail. They're launching 2 new fragrances. These 2 fragrances include Men in the Club and Herencia Fragrante. Men in the Club will have notes of apple grapefruit at the top and a mid of rose and leather, and then a base of sandalwood, musk, and patchouli. Then we have Herencia Fragrante, and this will have top notes of blackcurrant and rose, a heart of oud accord and jasmine, and then base of patchouli, amber, and vanilla. I remember smelling this at Gross Perfume Week, and I will definitely say Men in the Club is like your quintessential kind of masculine fragrance. Like there's a bit of an animalic twist to it. It's a clean leather, but it's not overtly animalic. And then of course my favorite is Herencia Fragrante. This is a kind of like a light, fresh raspberry note. Of course, I don't have the fragrances in front of me. I think I have a sample of Men in the Club somewhere, but I have to hunt and see if I have another sample for Herencia Fragrante. I can't remember if I do. If so, I think I lost track of it, if I'm being totally honest. But this is a South Korean fragrance brand. The team is absolutely lovely. Again, I had the chance to meet them at Gross Perfume Week, and I definitely think they have some really interesting fragrances. They're definitely up and coming, but if you're looking to support a brand that's indie, niche, what I liked about all their fragrances is that, yes, they experimented with various notes, but they didn't seem cookie cutter. They seemed rather approachable without being boring. So this is a brand I would definitely recommend keeping your eye on. Again, this is Organ Tail. They're a South Korean fragrance house. But yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know, what did you think of these releases? I definitely have a few I am quite excited about. I think there is a lot to choose from, so much to go through, a lot of brands doing some really interesting things, but a lot of kind of examples of releases that I'm not as excited about. You know, we can't try everything. We can't necessarily say we're going to buy everything just to try it out, but I think it's important to be discerning with what we add to our collection. So definitely give me your thoughts in the comments below. Tell me, what did you like? What did you not like? Do you agree with anything I said, or do you disagree? Let's have a conversation in the comments below. But as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!